Number two, key account targeting, another one of my favorite subjects. Less is more. Here's my definition. A disciplined practice of narrowing the focus of sales activity and spending and your time to only the most attractive and responsive accounts. The 80-20 rule is real. You ignore it at your peril. You need to fish where the fish are. Part of surviving in the new normal is covering more ground more efficiently. And a big part of that is being discerning on where it is you spend your time. So you're going to have to do some research. Not all accounts are equal, not even close. I always use this slide whenever I talk about key account targeting, and I talk about efficiency of sales resources and time. If you take any market in the world, any price tier, anywhere, and you divide the entire market into 10 parts, this is what you find. The top 1/3 of the account base is responsible for the vast majority of the business. The 80-20 is real. It's indisputable, okay? And so you must spend your time here. If you want to accelerate your sales performance, you've got to ignore most customers. You have to do the research and the legwork and find out where the richest targets are, and then you focus your efforts on them. This is really critical in the environment we're in today. And if you've been asked to take on more and more territory because your sales team has been cut back, then this is how you're going to do that. You're going to have to spend a good bit of your time on research so you don't waste time on low value activities. And if you've been furloughed, this is a marvelous time to get your head wrapped around this idea that less is more. Here's a couple of examples of what this looks like, okay? Because not all accounts are equal, you must understand how to find the ones that are more equal than others. Restaurants with outdoor seating, restaurants with private dining, large hotels. Do you know what all these have in common? They serve lots of people. There's a perfect correlation between foot traffic and the amount of volume that an account can do. On the off-premise side, one of the most valuable account types out there today are independent package stores that do a shit ton of business off their website. And if you don't have a list of these and they're not designated that way in your CRM, and you're not finding out who the buyers are, and you're not slowly but surely knocking on the doors of these people, electronically, of course, you're missing out. That's where the action is. And most of these people are also doing delivery with Drizzly and Instacart and others. Do you know who their delivery company is? Are you tracking that into your CRM? What if your boss says, hey, I need a list of all the independent package stores in Michigan that are using Drizzly? You should be able to do that with a couple of mouse clicks. That's the world we're living in. You need to get up to speed. I made a note here because my buddy Ernie Pink said, what about when you're going into a brand new market? And you don't know anything about anyone. And this is very common for the LibDib users, people who use LibDib as their distributor of record. They for the first time, they're able to go into a new market. But what now? You know, well, this is what you do, Ernie. You start researching using tools like Yelp, OpenTable, Cvent, and you study. Let me give you a couple of examples of this research. When you're trying to find liquor stores that have a heavy e-commerce component, there's a couple of signs of this. First of all, they all have an email sign up front and center because the email list is the lifeblood of the direct-to-consumer space. You'll always see a shopping cart. Just look up at the top menu of a website. If they've got a shopping cart, they're doing e-commerce. And the beauty of this is they don't have to have it in store to sell it. A lot of times they'll receive the order online, call the distributor, get the order fulfilled, ship it the next day. The customer's not the wiser. So one of the reasons this is such an attractive account type is because it expands the inventory. It becomes a virtual inventory. I don't have time to get into all this, but there's a way to tell if they're using the Facebook Pixel. You can look at their social media. That's often a good sign that this place knows what they're doing and they're selling a ton of work. Guys and gals on this call, you must have the list of these accounts for your territory. You must know who they are, where they are. You must pay attention to them, follow them on social media, get to know them. This is what we're talking about when we say, how do I sell more stuff digitally? This is a big part of it. Same thing with restaurants. I love to use Yelp to do my research. There's so many features behind the scenes for free. You just have to learn how to do it. Now, I have a great video on YouTube called how and why to target restaurants and bars with outdoor seating. In this video, it's 8 minutes long, I share my screen and I show you how I use Yelp to research the busiest restaurants in town, the restaurants with the busiest brunch, the restaurants with the most robust happy hour, the restaurants with outdoor seating, restaurants with private dining. It's a fantastic tool for this. And as you get this information, you put it in your CRM. I think you guys are getting the idea. So When it comes to key account targeting, here's your action. Stop treating all accounts as if they have the same value, because they don't. You're literally robbing from the company when you do that. Do your homework. Make it okay to do research. You know, in my early life as a salesperson, my sales manager always said to me, no one ever sold anything from the office. Get out into the market, Salisbury. That's what I was told to do. I get that. But here we are in a perfect situation where you got nowhere to go. So you're stuck at home. Learn to make it okay with you to do research. Learn how to aim precisely. Keep your focus narrow.